6'8" righty in the box, 2 runners on base, 2 outs, and the first pitch is low for ball 1. Yon, 2 frustrating strikeouts in his first 2 at-bats, a double down the line, but as Dan alluded to, was thrown out at third on the base pass, and he swings through that 81-mile-an-hour slider for strike 1. Nick Marchese in relief of Edgar Martinez. Each Osprey pitcher has allowed 1 run. Now one a little bit extra on that at 89 for strike 2. Ryan Fritz starting to get loose for Missoula. And action in the Billings bullpen as well. Very well could be Marchese's last inning. Get a look at Ryan Fritz. 6'2", free agent signee from Visalia out of Woodbury, Minnesota. Another small school acquisition. Good lead off second base for Williams. Ozuna off first. The 2-2 pitch misses outside. And the count has run full 3-2. Runners will be on the move. Good communication from Valbuena. He's telling his infield, hey, make sure we stay straight up. It's okay if the runners are moving. Let's try and get Yon. Full count, 2 outs. Top of the 7th, 1 run already in. Runners on first and second. The pitcher Marchese against the batter Yon. The pitch, strike 3 called on the inside corner. It's the hat trick for Yon, and the Mustangs will leave 2 on base. Stretch time at Ogren Park. We are tied up at 2. A good one from Missoula. SWX Tonight is the only 30-minute newscast in the state devoted entirely to Montana sports. Join our great team of reporters tonight and every weeknight at 10:30 for SWX Tonight Montana right here on SWX. Also available on demand from the Watch SWX app. Welcome back inside the ballpark. Tied up at 2. It's been a good one and very tight throughout. Riley Corcoran, Dan Ingram on hand. On for his 3rd inning of work is Franger Aranguin. The righty gave up a long home run to Kevin Watson. Besides that, has been in control. See if he can keep that up. Spencer Brickhouse in the heart of the Osprey order coming up. Pitch low, 2-1. Action in both bullpens. Jeffrey Nino throwing for Billings. Sidewinding righty down in the right field bullpen. Count 2-1. Pitch cut on and missed. Brickhouse in his last at bat, the first Osprey hit. RBI double to the gap.
Just missed getting it out of here.
There is Nino. Take a look. I think delivery more than anything else, and movement would be his specialty. We see him coming up shortly. The 2-2 to Brickhouse. Outside, 3-2.
Ooh, the catcher wanted that one. He framed that there and held it there just an extra second to make sure the ump had a good look at it.
Everything that Martinez learned in AAA tried to carry down here to rookie league
Classic
ball.
AAA move.
Count is run full, 3-2. First batter at the bottom of the 7th. Tied up at 2. Brickhouse at the plate. Goes the other way with this one. Will it stay fair down the line? It will. Brickhouse on his horse, and for the 2nd consecutive time, he pulls into second with a double.
Well, and what was the stat earlier about extra base hits? He's got 2 tonight.
He had 2 the previous 8 games.
I don't think they expected him to go the opposite way with that, and the left fielder had a very, very long run to make that play.
We talk about adjustments, right? We mentioned a lot in the open. Well, how about Brickhouse today? His 2 hits. He's went the other direction. And Missoula is in business, so after non-existing runners on the base path.
You wonder with Brickhouse if that part of that comes from being a college player at a fairly high level and the coaching that you get. And you know, he was 3 years in that program at East Carolina, and great coaching to teach him to go with the pitch. And if they're shaded you around the opposite way, then hit them where they ain't.
The Pirates had quite the run this year. Brickhouse picked in the 7th round. East Carolina was a national seed in the tournament and made it to the Super Regionals before Louisville bounced them out. So Brickhouse extended his college career to maybe a place that's not as well known. East Carolina, a pretty good program, but not one that's consistently in the Super Regionals year in, year out.
Well, and I got to believe Brickhouse was a big part of that. He hit, 330 with 14 home runs. That's a pretty good production from a college player. So,
I think it gets overlooked sometimes too, but a lot of these guys are a long ways away from home. I mean, he's a North Carolina native, went to college close to home. Hey, go out to Missoula, Montana, have fun for the summer. Let's see if you can keep those numbers the same, and he's had a pretty darn good start.
my guess is the first thing he did was sit down with his parents and look at a map.
Missoula, Montana. Okay.
I hope they're not hoping for direct flights from Raleigh to Missoula.
It might take 2 or 3 and a whole day to get out here. Well, hopefully we see the Brickhouse family sometime this summer in Missoula. Pitch, broken bat, looper, shallow center field. It will get down. Having a good read on it was Brickhouse, but he'll still be held up at third. Throw gets past the catcher Martinez, which allows Peguero to move up to second base.
And that's Peguero being, he's 18 years old, but he's got the mindset that he's going to be aggressive, and he watched that through and just did everything the right way there.
Enter Francis Martinez, the most experienced player on the Osprey roster. You get another look at Peguero, the 18-year-old superstar for Missoula. 3 hits last night. He leads the Pioneer League in hits, top 3 in average, top 5 in RBIs. He keeps it rolling. As it looks like a pitching change, Brian LaHare, the manager, coming out. Brian LaHare had one of the most unique careers, major league-wise, that you will see. He was drafted in 2002 by Seattle, as he will make a pitching change. Franger Aaron Gouin coming out, and Jeffrey Nino will come in. To finish the thought on LaHare, made his major league debut July of 2008. Played a little bit for the Mariners, then was a member of the Cubs, a AAA MVP, and then a 2012 NL All-Star just out of nowhere. And then his career was over the next year. So he really caught lightning in a bottle. And then there's this guy that plays first base for the Cubs named Anthony Rizzo. And Anthony Rizzo, in turn, ended Brian LaHare's career.
He Wally pipped him.
And this is his first year as the manager for the Billings Mustangs. He goes to the bullpen, and he'll go to a sidewinding righty in Jeffrey Nino, a 6'4" righty. 5 years with the Reds already, a native of Columbia. He is in a very tough spot against Francis Martinez, but season this year, Dan, kind of a short-term reliever, and you can maybe see that from the way that he does throw. But already his 5th appearance of the campaign, despite the record, ERA is respectable.
Yeah, what really jumps out to me is the 9 strikeouts in 4 2/3 innings. So a lot of deception with that sidewinding motion. And it's tougher for the pitchers to pick up that location, so I'm sure that helps. But opponents are hitting 263 off him, so it's not like he's unhittable.
Osprey are in business in the 7th inning. It's been a seesaw battle. The Mustangs scored 1 in the 3rd. They rode the arm of Miguel Medrano for 4 innings. He retired the first 10 batters he faced. The turning point in the game, an 11-pitch walk that Cesar Garcia was able to work. Spencer Brickhouse drove in the first run. Then it's been a back-and-forth affair. A couple of long home runs from Cash Case of Billings and Kevin Watson of Missoula.
And you watch, Riley. I think we're going to buck 2 trends here. Francis Martinez has been prone to strike out, and Nino has been somebody that's a strikeout pitcher, and I think we buck both of those trends right here.
Martinez, 6'4", 250, was signed as a 16-year-old in 2013. We've mentioned he has over 1,000 at-bats in his minor league career. Strikeouts have been a problem, as Dan has talked about throughout the night. 337 strikeouts in his career. But he has had a hot start to the season, a 5-for-5 game, 2 home runs down in Idaho Falls last week. Home run a couple of games ago here at home, and now in a big spot. Runners on 2nd and 3rd, nobody out in the 7th inning. The pitch, grounded foul. That was a slider that tried to sweep in there at 75.
And no problem by Martinez to pick up that ball out of the pitcher's hands. He got a good swing on it, just a little early.
Dangles his right arm down. Martinez, the designated hitter, standing in the left-handed batter's box against the right-handed throwing Nino. Good lead for both runners as the 0-1 delivery will plunk Martinez on his right knee, and he will go down to first. But all things considered for Nino, not the worst thing that could have happened.
Not at all, and it's the combination of it loads the bases, and it also, it's a 76-mile-per-hour pitch, so it could have been worse there, and kind of a glancing blow.
He didn't react that badly and walked just fine down to first base. Bases are loaded, nobody out in the 7th inning. Osprey had just 1 hit through 5 innings. Home run by Watson in the 6th. 2 more hits in this frame. Now the plunked batter leaves the bases loaded, and at the plate is David Sanchez.
Chance for a really big inning here for the Osprey. Bases loaded, nobody out. David Sanchez up, who's 0 for 2. He's due to get one here. It just got to take advantage of these opportunities.
Batting 7th in the order. He's flown out twice. The 0-1 pitch waved through and missed. And that's the specialty for Nino. Starting at the inside, out to the out.
Changing speeds, being deceptive with your motion, and just keeping those hitters off balance.
Way ahead, 0-2. Sanchez has done it with his glove today. Can he follow up at the plate? Righty on righty matchup, the pitch. Curveball taken for strike 3. Hits the outside corner, and Sanchez will walk back to the dugout. That's 1 out.
And Sanchez will probably tell you, that's why I don't like to take pitches.
Good frame by Martinez as well to sell it.
Yeah, I think that was a combination of a borderline pitch and a great sell job by the catcher.
Inner Leuven Valbuena. Valbuena picked up 2 hits last night after a mini slump was ended. He's not afraid to drop down a bunt, too. For a catcher, he has phenomenal speed. 20-year-old Venezuelan. Another slider, and he did go around. And that's one of the most unique calls that you will see. Because how could you go to an umpire that's standing behind the pitcher's mound to see if he went across and broke the plate?
Yeah, that's really tough spot for the umpires to be in. We're here in the rookie league, and we've got a 2-man crew. It's not like the higher levels where you've got guys all over the diamond. That's a tough call.
The 0-1 hits the back of Valbuena, and it might not feel good now. But that's an RBI to give the Osprey a 3-2 lead.
Well, and what I find interesting is Nino has been extremely wild, and there's still no activity in the bullpen here. And this has got all the makings for a big inning for the Osprey. You got a pitcher who's having a hard time finding in the strike zone. He's already hit 2 batters, and you're not getting any closer to retiring these Osprey hitters. And just as I say that, there is some action in the Mustang bullpen, and I think you're going to see a guy warm up with some pace.
Brickhouse strolled in from third base to give Missoula the lead. So the Ospreys score 1 in the bottom of the 6th. The Mustangs answer to tie up the game in the 7th, but the O's up for the challenge again. And one of the hottest hitters in the dugout comes out in Kevin LaChance, the 9-hitter, 4 for 4 last night. He's hit the ball hard tonight, yet to find a hole. Comes up in a big spot, ready to bust the game open.
And it looks like it's Jake Stevenson up in that Mustang bullpen, who's a 10th-round draft choice out of the University of Minnesota.
Minnesota also with a nice run this year out of the Big Ten. Bases are loaded, full of Osprey. 1 run already in, 1 away in the bottom of the 7th inning. Franger Aaron Gouen out of the game. New pitcher Jeffrey Nino has had a tough time finding the strike zone. 2 plunked batters. The 0-1 pitch way outside. Bouncing out is Martinez to save another run.
Did a great job to get to that ball and keep these runners right where they're at.
Mustangs with 9 returners on this year's team. It's been the pitching that has been their weakness. A team ERA of just under 6. Worst record in the Pioneer League through 11 games. They're 2-9 with just one 9-inning win. Osprey looking to level their record at 6-6. The 1-1 cut on and missed.
You know, with this drawn-in infield trying to not let any more runs across the plate, there's no one covering second, and Francis Martinez is helping himself to a huge lead and would easily score on a base hit.
10 hits for Billings, 4 for Missoula. Big spot for LaChance. 5th pro team in the last 14 months. What a journey it's been. Would love to break through again. Counts 1-2. Nino ready. The sidewinder delivers, and it's fouled back to the screen. 90 miles an hour. And you can go 90 and then drop down to 77 with that movement. You can see the positives for Nino. It's just a matter of the consistency, keeping it in the strike zone.
Yeah, I think control's the big key for him because he certainly has strikeout stuff, as you can see by the numbers and watching him changing speeds here. But control is the key for him.
Speed on the base pass. Peguero off third. Martinez a huge lead off second. Here's the pitch outside 2-2. You're right, Dan. You can see it if you're watching on SWX. That secondary lead for Francis Martinez. He is almost halfway to third base.
That's a big guy that's going to score easily on a base hit to the outfield.
Counts 2-2, 1 away in the 7th. A run already in. Missoula looking for some separation. Can LaChance deliver? Nino, a low set at the belt. Play kick in the pitch. Foul back again. LaChance sticking with it.
The more pitches that he spoils, the bigger chance that Nino's going to miss the strike zone, and there is no place to put any more Osprey batters. So he's got to find it within himself to throw some strikes here, and hopefully LaChance gets one that he likes, and Mr. Grand Slam from Sunday, right?
Can he do it again? Counts 2-2. Again, Nino comes set. Here's the pitch. Check swing. He went around for strike 3.
Boy, the home fans do not like that call, and I'm not convinced that they might not be right. Boy, that's a tough one. I'm not sure he broke the plane with that. That's a tough call. And again, to your point earlier, there's not umpires down the first and third base line that you could ask for a review on that. That's the home plate umpire's call, and that's just tough duty.
2 away, and stepping in is Kevin Watson, the grinder who has craved professional baseball enough to turn down a dream offer to Oregon State. An Oregon native, standout, regarded by most the top prospect in the entire state his senior year. 2 years ago, had a nice signing bonus.
And you can watch him play and see that the tools are there. I mean, he's a guy that's got some wheels, clearly some power with what he did at his last at bat, and the tools are there. It's just a matter of, and you'd like to think a kid who wants to turn down that scholarship to grind in professional baseball is going to put in the time and work to get better. And
he knew that because he watched his dad in the Giants organization play for 4 years. That's what he wanted his whole life, to try and get to that level. And he has an opportunity here. Counts 1-0, 2 outs, bases are loaded. The pitch is high, and it's 2-0. Watson, there's even a story that he likes sharing a ton. Usually in high school, social gatherings, friends get together. He would drive to the ballpark, set up a tee, and just hit buckets of balls on Friday nights. There's a reason why he is here.
Gosh, I thought I liked baseball.
Watson lives and breathes it every minute of every day. The 2-0 is low, 3-0.
Boy, Nino is so close to getting out of this without any further damage, but now 3-0. That collar's getting a little bit tighter as he leans in for the signal here, and the catcher's got to put down something that he knows is going to come across the plate.
Watson with the shift on. He's 1 for 3 tonight. Sent his 4th home run over the wall his last at bat. He'll take strike 1. 90-mile-an-hour fastball hitting the corner. Nino staying alive. But get ready for this next pitch. Could be fireworks one way or another.
Yeah, I don't think Kevin's gonna go down with the bat on his shoulder. He's just walked 3 times in his 43 at bats.
3-1 pitch, a big swing
Big
and a miss.
He had visions of his home run in his head on that one.
With a home run, he would tie the Pioneer League lead. Not that that's in his head right now, but that was a home run swing.
Tell you what, this is the exciting time. You've got a full count, the base is loaded. I mean, the merry-go-round starts, and it all happens on this next pitch.
Some have said they've gone as far as they can go. Nino steps off, now looks to reposition himself. A big pitch for the right-hander. Trying to keep Billings in this game in the later stages, bottom half of the 7th. Nino and Martinez trying to get on the same page with Watson standing in the left-handed batter's box. And now Watson will call time. The cat and mouse game between these two to see who can be most comfortable is on. Nino has not changed his posture with that right hand dangling for nearly 30 seconds. Now coming set, high leg kick, the 3-2 pitch driven up the middle, but positioned nicely is Fanal, and he will make the play to end the inning. But the Osprey able to move back in front, 3-2, thanks to the hit by pitch of Logan Valbuena, brings in a run. Stick around, crunch time next, right here on SWX.